My wonderful power fans, how you guys doing? If you could remember, I
all of that.
posted the
I
first
said, okay.
video
So I spoke to daddy.
on
I
this
said, we need to find a
trending
way for your wife to
news
come so that she
over
can
the
actually take
adopted
care of
daughter
you.
of Mr. Ibu of what
Daddy said
transpired
clearly to me that day
between
that he
her
doesn't want his wife to come to
and
the hospital that day.
Mr.
That if his
Ibu's
wife come, he's
family.
going to die.
On
I'm
this
not the
part
only one he
two that
said
you
that
are
to.
about to watch,
Labista, you're
this
still
is where
alive.
she
Benedict
revealed a
Johnson, you're still
lot of
alive. If you people
secret
know the truth
over the
and you want to be
trending
silent
issue.
about it because you don't
And
want to get
to
involved
my
in
own
family issues,
opinion,
I can
when
understand.
somebody is
But I
saying
know
that
very
I
well that you
have a
people
proof
know
of what
what happened that
happened,
day at that
I believe
hospital.
to an
We
extent
pleaded
that
with daddy,
this
pleaded with
person
daddy,
is
pleaded
really
with
right.
him for him to
So
allow his
please
wife to come to the
kindly
hospital. He
sit
said
down, be
no. And
patient,
he gave his
and
reasons.
listen to what
He gave his
Jasmin, the
reasons.
adopted
He made
daughter
some
of
very
Mr.
strong
Ibu,
allegations about their
have
marriage,
said
about
on the part
having
two
catching a
of
about
this
having
video.
caught his wife
Thank you.
having
And
affairs
please
so
don't
many
forget
times
to
and all of
drop
that.
your comment,
Which I
like,
called
and
the wife.
also
I told
share
him, I
this
said, this is
video.
what daddy
Let
said.
it go
This is
viral,
what he said. He
because
doesn't
by
want you to
so
come. That
doing,
he
it
caught
will
you having
clear the
affair and
mind
all of
of
those
some
things.
people
She
that
said, oh,
have
that
a
about that
negative
is not true. That she
mind
never had any
towards
affair.
this
I'm not
lady
here to say whether
called
she had affair or she
Jasmine.
never had affair because I wasn't there. But I'm quoting what daddy said that day. The main reason why he said he didn't want her to come to Abuja, he said he didn't want her to come, that for the past 2 years he hasn't seen her. And she affirmed to me that for the past 2 years she has not seen him. They were only talking on the phone, and most of the times he doesn't pick the call. And most of the time it's strangers, people that she doesn't know, that were picking the call. So daddy didn't want her to be there. I was the one pushing for her to come there. I was the one pushing for her. I told her, okay, come. This is the hospital. She asked me where the hospital address was. I said, come. And I told her, okay, you know what you're going to do? Find a way, sort out a way, find flight ticket and come. When you come, then we can now find a way and raise the money and balance you back. Because if daddy is giving his reason, saying this is the reason why he doesn't want you to come, I cannot go against that will. So finally, the wife actually talked about that issue. She said she herself said that daddy has been telling a lot of people that she has had it from so many places that she's having an affair, but in reality that it were just mere accusations, that it was hearsays. He was hearing from a lot of people that she never had any affair. I believed whatever she said that period. I believed her. I had no reason to doubt what she was saying. So I just as an adult I felt like, oh, maybe it's just normal misunderstanding between husband and wife, that they will in turn settle later. So later on, she came to the hospital. When she came to the hospital, the first thing that they asked me was, who brought her here? I said, that this person is your wife now. You cannot be asking me who brought her here. Then she later said, her friend, one of her friend, which I'll be mentioning her name in the course of this um video, because a lot of things that happened in that family she knows. If she's willing to come out and speak up one day, it's on her. If she wants to know the truth and still be silenced about the truth, it's still on her. I will not force anybody to come and speak up or force anybody to come and stand up for me. I won't, that's what I won't do. So that her friend, now she, according to the wife, when she landed in Abuja after I sent the address, she said it was that her friend Ogadima that actually booked the flight ticket for her. And then she came there. There was one other lady that was there that they later had issue with, whatever, I don't know. They later had issue with the lady that was there in the hospital. So when she came to the hospital, it was me, the other lady that she later had issue with, and daddy at first in the hospital. Before she came, I was the one in the hospital taking care of daddy when I came back. Then subsequently, Labista will come, Benedict Justin will come. Some people were coming, some other people from Nollywood, and some people that were there in that hotel that he was lodged at. The people that were looking after him were paying for his food and his hotel bill. Those people were also frequenting the hospital before she came. So when she came, I stepped down. I was just there. Whatever she wants, she would send me message like her daughter. She was even calling me her daughter, introducing me. She was the one that started introducing me to people as her daughter. Oh, this is my daughter. This is what she has done, and all of that. I was working with the flow. I never had issue with her at any point. I was very loyal to her. Never at any point had any issue with her. So daddy was now in that hospital for about 2 weeks. Then his son later came and joined us. Daniel, his son, his second son, sorry, not the one in South Africa. His second son later came and joined us in the hospital. So it was me, daddy, his wife, his son, and at the hospital. Subsequently, people started coming to the hospital to visit him. Yes, Madam Mona Lisa came to visit him, the Nollywood actress. She was the then secretary of EGN. A lot of people started coming to the hospital to visit him after the post I made went viral. Some people were contributing directly to him. Some people were giving him cash directly to him. At no situation was any money that was given to him. taken by me or given to me. They were giving it to him, either him directly or the wife. I was just there in the picture trying to assist with everything. So after staying in that hospital for months, daddy finally recovered. Glory be to God. Myself, his son, the wife, we now started traveling. I cannot remember the sequence of the travel, but I know we went to we went to, yes, from Abuja we went to Enugu together. We went to Calabar together to see that her friend that booked ticket for her, Auntie Ogadima. We went to Owerri together. We attended Rita Domini's wedding together, which he introduced me to so many people as his daughter, and the wife was introducing me to so many people as her child. We were traveling together. After all those travel, we now later came back to Lagos. When we came back to Lagos, we didn't go to the house directly because the wife said the house was not in a good condition. Water was already entering the house. She said the house was so messed. So we all went to lodge in a hotel. Went to lodge in a hotel. In that hotel, daddy and his wife were lodged. I was lodged separately. After staying in that hotel for a particular period of time, I think for a week, then we now went to the house. Now, when we went to the house around that period, daddy was still, he just barely recovered. He was still trying to get back to his feet. While we were leaving, I think Energy Johnson and Ballard, his group, yes, but Johnson Bala and Labista, their group in that particular thing they were doing that time. I think it was something related to politics. I wasn't really well informed about whatever they were doing, but they supported him with some amount of money. Even the day they wanted to give him the money, the wife said they should hand over the money to her, which they did. So she was the one in charge of the money they gave to him. After that, we went to from the hotel, we went to his house. So when we got to the house, I told them I wanted to. Then I just came back to Nigeria. I haven't actually connected to my own mom. I haven't even visited my mom. My mom was in Lagos. She was calling me. I told her the situation of things when I came because she knows him very well. And they thought my mom is also from Enugu. They are from a very close place. So she knows him very well. She knows him for years. In fact, they are very close. So my mom was also communicating. My mom said, okay, be patient. When it's fine, you can come back. So for that period of time, my parents, my family are there. They were doing fine. They were communicating with me. And I had just recently got married. I had just recently got married to the guy I met on TikTok, the American guy. I'll be talking about his story in another video. That's another because when everything happened, I never ever said anything about anything. But now people are pushing me to talk. I've been quiet and people are pushing me to talk. They want me to really talk. I'm the kind of person that when things happen, I like things to be where they are. I like to move on from things. But this situation, I don't see myself moving on from it until I talk about it. And by talking about it, I mean telling my story exactly the way it is. And if I say anything on this video, anybody thinks that what I'm saying is a lie, I have proof of everything I'm going to say in this video. I have proof of them, either in video forms, either in picture forms, screenshot, chat. I have proof. I'm someone that is very detailed in whatever I do in life. So I have proof of whatever I'm going to be saying in this video. So around that period while we were in the house, my then husband, who is now my ex-husband, said he wanted to come to Nigeria, and that would have been the first. That would have been like the first time he's coming to Nigeria. I said okay. I had to go and rent house then. So I went to rent a house in Lagos. I took a 5 bedroom flat in Lekki. Before I left Cyprus, most people that knew me in Cyprus knew that I had a logistic business working for me, 247 logistic. Yes, I had a logistic business working for me. I had things working for me very fine, and I was doing very okay, and I was very comfortable, very, very comfortable. The logistic business I was doing, I was making over 3 million naira weekly. So I was making a whole lot of money from that logistic. I was the only one doing the business I was doing in Cyprus. As of the time I left Cyprus, nobody else was doing that business. So when I came, I was okay. I was fully loaded. Then after staying with daddy in the house for a period of time, when daddy was recuperating, him and his wife started having issues. The son was there. The son can attest to it. Even the children, the younger children, they can attest to it.
Bí ma bam now, 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 bí ma bam now.
They were always constantly having issues, and the issues they were having was not far-fetched from money issues. The fact that she would want to do something and she'll come and ask daddy for money, knowing fully well that he's not working and there is no other source of income. Daddy will start complaining, okay, I'm not working. Where do you want this money to come from? And as far as I know, from what both of them told me, from what daddy told me and from what she told me, they were married for years and that marriage was very okay until daddy started encountering money issues when he wasn't getting jobs in his career. Nollywood, the acting team was not paying him. He wasn't getting jobs. He wasn't getting endorsements. So he was just there. So the money was not coming forth because while she was in that marriage, she was not working. So the only source of income in that marriage was daddy. And at the point that daddy was not able to financially sustain the marriage, that's when the issue started coming up. So while I was there, the few issues that I know occurred in my presence, the few issues that I can say I can attest to that happened in my presence were mostly the issues of money. When she would say, okay, I need money for this, I mean, need money for that. At some point, daddy was even telling her to that the school fees they were paying for the kids were too expensive, that they should actually change the school for the children so that he can pay in somewhere that he can afford. Those were the kind of issues that were bringing problem that time. And the problem I'm talking about is not like just that they were having they were always quarreling in the loudest of their voice. I've never witnessed daddy hitting her or witnessed her beating daddy, but they were always fighting at the top of their voice. That daddy would at some point he would start complaining, oh, my heart, my chest, and all of those things. He would start complaining as if those things were actually affecting him directly. So then, aside from that job I did in Cyprus, I was doing TikTok. Even when I traveled to Gambia and some other African countries, I was doing TikTok. And then people that knows what TikTok is all about knows that TikTok is one social media platform that pays very well if you're very creative and you know what you're doing. If you go on TikTok, like you have a lot of people gifting you and all of that. So I started telling her, I said, okay, now that daddy is not working, that this TikTok thing, I showed her how I was making my income and all of that. I said, this TikTok thing might actually be something that would work for you people. She said, okay, she's very interested, that I should create an account for her. I should teach her how she can do the TikTok thing, which I did. I politely did. I opened the TikTok account for her. I even went as far as growing her TikTok account to 114,000 followers that it is today. I was doing content for her. Even while we're in Abuja, I was doing content for her. I was shooting the videos, everything on that TikTok platform till it grew to that amount of follower it has was all my doings. Then later on, I started doing daddy TikTok. She said I should also help daddy, bring daddy back to social media, that people don't know that daddy has gone out of the limelight. Maybe he can start having job. That is how I started creating content with daddy, bringing him back to the limelight so that he can at least afford the least school fees. And as I speak, I know there are so many people in the industry that can attest to the fact that I was not the only one that he was calling and asking for finance. Because when I came, I heard a lot of stuff. A lot of people were telling me that he was asking for finance for as many people as possible. Everybody knew that the time I came back to Nigeria, that he was at his lowest. He was at his lowest. He was asking for the least 2,000 naira from anybody that cared to sustain his family. He was asking for the least 1,000 naira. He was asking for money from anybody, be it a stranger, anybody. So a lot of people knew that I was not the only person that knows that daddy was at his lowest when I came back to Nigeria, that daddy wasn't doing fine at all financially. So that was how I was able to set up the TikTok thing for both her and daddy. And when I came back, daddy's Instagram account was hacked. His account was hacked. He was not active on Instagram. In fact, his account was hacked while he was in the hospital. And we later found out who hacked his account is also somebody in the Nollywood. I don't want to mention name because the case was taken to oh, sorry, the case was taken to Aja police station. I was the one that found out because I was chatting the account and then the person was chatting me. He sent details to send money. I later found out who the person was. I was the one that reported the case to Aja police station, paid for the investigation to go on. And when the investigation went on, they tracked the person and they brought the person to Aja police station for me to recover that account. There's this girl they called Jenna on Instagram. So I paid Jenna 500,000 on Instagram to help recover daddy's account. Now they recovered daddy's account, Instagram account. After they recovered the Instagram account, which before I paid that money, I told the wife, I said, okay, see, how are we going to raise the money? She was like, let's forget about the account, that it's something we can always do, that money is not important to pay that kind of money in that. I remember that day I called my immediate younger brother. I said, please, can you loan me 500,000?